Hey y'all, welcome back to the Dirty Old Coal Garage, and today we're gonna basically play a little game. I want to look at some classic artists and see what their most popular songs are according to Spotify. Right now, love or hate Spotify, I know it. Yeah, I know the issues there, but it's a good indicator of what songs are considered popular by these bands these days. And it might not be the ones we're thinking of. What got this in my head was I heard that "I Was Made for Loving You" was Kiss's biggest song, and it just struck me as kind of weird that it was a hit. It was a big hit back in the day, but it's not, like, a Kiss fan, it's generally not their favorite song by them, right? And it's just I always thought that the first song people would think about was "Rock and Roll All Night," or Beth, something along those lines, the really big ones, maybe even Detroit Rock City, something like that. But it was "I Was Made for Loving You," and it by a pretty long margin. So I went and I took a look at it. Sure enough, "I Was Made for Loving You" was the number one. But so I decided, let's take a look at some of these other artists and just see what let's see if we can guess what their most popular song is according to Spotify, what the kids are listening to these days. But before we do that, you know what you got to do. You got to like, subscribe, hit me up on Instagram, Side4Music, and let's take a look at what songs Spotify thinks are the most popular. Here we go. I'm in a different place. I'm up top, so we can look at these numbers. And I got Kiss pulled up here since this was the one that, oh, let me see my mouse. There we go. This was the one that got this idea. And look, "I Was Made for Loving You," 1.1 billion plays. The next closest is "Rock and Roll All Night" at half that, which is crazy to me. And then you got Detroit Rock City, "Heaven's on Fire," look it up. Those four, I would, don't surprise me as much as "I Was Made for Loving You" being so high. And then I thought about it. Of course it is, because in the last year alone, I think it was used in at least two movies and a TV show. So it makes sense. It makes sense. Even though starting off, just right off the bat, I wouldn't necessarily think that. But yeah, I got a list of artists here, so let's take a look at them. Next one, you know me. We got to look at Alice Cooper. We got to see where Alice Cooper stands. Now, before we even go to it, I'll say his not favorite, but most popular song would be "School's Out." That's just what I would think offhand. Maybe Poison, but I would think "School's Out" just because it's a song that gets used every year. It gets used in all kinds of TV shows, movies, all that kind of stuff. Popular song. So let's see if I'm right. No, Poison is number one. And then "School's Out," "No More Mr. Nice Guy," "I'm 18," and then "Feed My Frankenstein." So I guess that is one of the reasons that "Feed My Frankenstein" is always in Alice's set. And look at that. Only 4 million monthly listeners, and the most popular one is at 460 million. So that's a little bit lower than I would have thought. But then again, I would assume that Alice's fan base doesn't necessarily use Spotify as much as some of these other. But all of these are classic bands, so let's just see how it works. So yeah, Poison at 460, and then 3 classic songs, and then another 90s song. Interesting. None of these, yeah, kind of interesting there. But Poison at number one, and only at 460. That's crazy. What about Bowie? Let's look up David Bowie and see. What do we think? Ziggy Stardust? Or I'll go with "Let's Dance." "Let's Dance" was a huge hit for him, and a lot of people know that song. So I'll say Spotify's number one song is "Let's Dance." Get your vote in. Hurry up. So let's take a look. Let's see. Under Pressure, which I didn't even think about. 1.8 billion plays. And then interestingly, you got Starman. Ziggy's not even on here. Heroes, Space Oddity. Ooh, Let's Dance is only 5th. Huh. So I was way off on that one. And honestly, I forgot about Under Pressure. I thought it would be listed as Queen, but, you know. Did you guess Under Pressure? Because I certainly didn't. But Starman is very interesting. Has that shown up somewhere recently in a big movie or something? That'd be the only reason I could think that it would, you know, top Heroes or Space Oddity or Let's Dance. All right. How about Guns N' Roses? Paradise City. I'll say either Paradise City or Sweet Child of Mine. It's obviously something off of Appetite for Destruction. But let's take a look. Sweet Child of Mine. Okay, look at that, 2 billion. That's the first one we've seen that's over 2 billion plays. Sweet Child of Mine. They got a bunch of billion plays. Even Welcome to the Jungle is over Paradise City. I guess it makes sense. Then November Rain and Knocking on Heaven's Door is the 5th. Okay, didn't expect that, but yeah, Sweet Child of Mine. That one makes a lot of sense. Definitely makes a lot of sense. Let's look up Queen now and see Queen, and I'm gonna go with Under Pressure. I'm gonna go with Under Pressure. Oh, come on. Where's oh, there we go. I gotta go down here to get to him. Don't Stop Me Now. Wow, Bohemian Rhapsody is... Wait a second. What's up with these? Don't Stop Me Now has got 2.2 billion. Bohemian Rhapsody's got 2.6. Now, I know my math isn't the greatest, but isn't 2.6 more than 2.2? 48 million monthly listeners. But all 5 songs are over 1 billion. So that's pretty cool. I would not have guessed Don't Stop Me Now was number 1. And sadly, I forgot Bohemian Rhapsody. I think Under Pressure with Bowie threw me off. But it's, judging by the number of plays, it's Bohemian Rhapsody is number 1. But I don't understand. Maybe Spotify it's like a certain amount of time, or like maybe Don't Stop Me Now is trending more. Like they've got more listens recently, so it's bumped it up to number 1. That's curious. If you know, let me know, because I have no idea. All right, let's go with Pink Floyd this time. And I got to get one of these right. So I'm going to say Another Brick in the Wall, Part 2. Because Pink Floyd, they didn't really have a whole lot of hits, right? I mean, obviously, you know, Time, Wish You Were Here, stuff like that, but I'm going with Another Brick in the Wall, Part 2. Let's see. Bam! I got one right. Ooh, I got it right. But look at the numbers. They don't have a single one over 1 billion. That is interesting. I would have thought that Pink Floyd and Great Gig in the Sky, number 5. Huh. That's interesting to me. But hey, numbers are numbers. So Pink Floyd has fewer monthly listeners than Alice Cooper? So Pink Floyd's at 21. I got to go back to Alice and look. Wasn't he at 30 something? Oh, shit. My bad. He was only at 4. Okay. That makes sense. Let's go back to Pink Floyd. Okay. That makes a whole lot more sense. Led Zeppelin. Let's just get off of this. Led Zeppelin. They didn't really have a whole... I mean, they're obviously iconic and all that stuff. And you know what? I'm going with Immigrant Song because of Thor Ragnarok. That's what I'm going with. Let's see. Stairway to Heaven, of course. Over 1 billion. But Immigrant Song is second. But look at how low these numbers are. And yes, I'm aware that 298 million is not a low number. But just comparatively, Stairway to Heaven makes sense to be number 1 at over 1 billion. But 298 and Ramble On is above it? Huh. This is... See, I find this fascinating, even if I'm the only one that finds it fascinating. But let's go to The Who. You know, huge TV show themes could skew the numbers. And in that case, I think that's gonna change my. I'm going with "Won't Get Fooled Again," as you know, my favorite song of all time. Let's see if it's number 1. No, it's number 3. And not a single song over 1 billion. Baba O'Reilly. TV show theme song. I picked the wrong TV show theme, apparently. And Eminence Front is number 5. That's funny. And 7 million monthly listeners. So The Who, not I mean, it's almost double Alice. What was Kiss? I don't remember what Kiss's monthly list. I should be writing this down. I don't remember what Kiss's monthly listeners are. 15. So Kiss has twice as many listeners as The Who. Huh. Let's go. Okay. Let's go to Prince. Let's see what Prince has got. Is it going to be When Doves Cry? Is it going to be Purple Rain? It's got to be something from Purple Rain, I would think. But I don't know. It's not like he had a shortage of hits. I'll go with When Doves Cry. That's When Doves Cry. No, Purple Rain. 521 million. When Doves Cry is number 3, and then all of these make sense to me. Purple Rain definitely makes sense. The Super Bowl performance, the stuff like that. But I'm shocked. Only 10 million. Prince has less listeners than Kiss on Spotify. It's fascinating to me. It's fascinating. I hope it's interesting to somebody other than me, but because I like looking at the numbers. But yeah, that one's Purple Rain, by the way, second favorite song of all time, in case you didn't know. But let's just do one more, and let's do AC/DC. Now, AC/DC has got quite a resurgence because of Iron Man and the Marvel movies. Iron Man uses a bunch of AC/DC songs throughout it. So I'll just go with I'll just take the safe bet here and say Back in Black. But what I am interested in seeing is what are the monthly listens for AC/DC. I would expect them to be probably the highest out of anybody. that we've looked at on this list. So, Back in Black is what I say. No, Thunderstruck. And then Highway to Hell, and then Back in Black. You Shook Me All Night Long, and TNT. So Highway to Hell, Back in Black, and TNT are all in the Iron Man movies. You Shook Me All Night Long makes sense. Thunderstruck, I mean, it makes sense. 33 million listeners. Interesting. Are they the number one? I don't remember. Oh, was it Queen that had? Okay, so AC/DC's 33. Let's just go back and look at Queen and see what theirs was. 48, so Queen, I think, was our number one. And I'm still amazed by the Don't Stop Me Now. Maybe there's something I don't know about. But hey, what did you think? What did you think of this little experiment, just looking at the numbers? Are you fascinated by it? Did anything surprise you? Like, a lot of the number ones surprised me. And I think longtime fans of these bands, it may surprise them as well. And I'm also shocked that Prince was so low. I think Alice was the lowest monthly listeners. Queen was the most. And Kiss beat Prince. That's crazy. Crazy to me. Crazy. But hey, it's what the kids are listening to these days. It's what the kids are listening to. So, hope you enjoyed this. Hope it was interesting. Let me know what you thought of it. And feel free to tell me what you think of Spotify too. I think I already know, but feel free to let me know. And don't forget, subscribe and like. Hit me up on Instagram. Let's do the damn thing over there. Y'all stay fresh, cheese bags.